Hello. I am just here. It's kind of a gloomy day. It's I've just got my little wood stove running and I'm just chilling, and I've got my big sweater on from my husband's job, so don't mind me. I look like a crazy mess. But I was going through my LinkedIn today and reaching out to a bunch of connections I made, and I figured, you know what, I should make a quick little video on this because a lot of people may not realize it, but you could be sending out 1,000 to 1,500 connections a month and possibly be able to, connect with those businesses, which in turn is going to give you money. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about what I've done in my business to reach out to people and how I've been able to do 1,000, pretty much reach out to 1,000 businesses a month, specifically through LinkedIn. I do have to spend a little bit of money to do it, but you don't necessarily have to. And if you do, the payback is so much, like the return on investment is so much more than you could ever imagine. So something I learned from being in Bryce's program was a way to connect with people on LinkedIn. So whenever you become part of Bryce's coaching program, he will walk you through how to make connections, what to say to initial connections, how to respond. He kind of has like a little script set up for you, which is really nice because I tend to get caught up on like silly stuff like that. Like, what exactly should I say? Am I saying it right? And over time, I've been able to come up with my own thing. But I tend to just kind of make connections and be like, hi, how are you? When I need to just kind of get in there a little bit more and let people know what I'm about, especially on LinkedIn. People know you're a professional because they're a professional too. And I've realized as a professional as well, like you just don't have time to goof around and try to make like small talk with someone. Yes, sometimes that's necessary to build a relationship, but just right off the bat, it's a little bit better to let them know like what you're there for. You don't have to be pushy and be like, I need to do your books, but just letting them know what you're about and how to connect. So let me tell you what I do. So I'm on LinkedIn, and there is a thing that you can use. It's called Sales Navigator. This is not necessary. You can just use your regular search function, but Sales Navigator definitely helps. It is kind of expensive. I only use it occasionally whenever I am really like focused on reaching out to a specific type of business. But with Sales Navigator, and maybe I'll make a more detailed video on this later where I'm actually like showing a demonstration of what I'm doing. But with Sales Navigator, you can actually choose the type of that you want to connect with down to like the most minute details pretty much. So it gives you all of these little filters to select from. And lately, I've actually been talking with a gentleman who is going to teach me a little bit more about business advisory. And one of the things that he recommended was connecting with people that have 11 to 50 employees, because most of the time, those businesses, if he said basically like the average American makes about 50,000 a year. So if you had 11 employees making about 50,000 a year, that's, 55,000. If you had between, any more than that, then obviously they're making more than 50,000, probably honestly making more. Wait, did I say that wrong? 50,000 times 11, that's 555,000. So $500,000 right there. If they have obviously 30 employees, then that's $1 million business. And most of the time, those businesses are more open to working with you and understanding the value of a good bookkeeper. And so you can choose that as a filter of like, I want to connect with people that are 11 to 50 employees. If you want less, that's fine. You can choose, I want to connect specifically with a business owner, because you don't want to just be talking to a random employee that has no decision-making abilities within the business. What type of industry? So it could be anything from construction, painting, business, anything that you really want. You can choose that as a filter. Sorry, by the way, my cat, he's like going nuts all of a sudden. So there's all these different filters that you could choose from, which is really nice. It kind of helps you narrow down these certain things. But then what I do is, because not everybody has time. And I mean, if you're starting out and you don't have any clients at all and you're looking, this is what I would be spending my time doing. Now, LinkedIn only gives you a certain limit of how many people you can send connections to in a day, and that limit is 50. So what I use is a different, and there are several different kind of softwares that you can use. One that I use is Linked Helper, and you have to have it installed on your computer, but it will actually automatically send out messages for you, which is very helpful. Like whenever you already have clients and you're already busy, but you're still looking for more clientele, it is super helpful because it automatically, my cat is driving me nuts. It automatically searches for, hold on one second, guys. I apologize. All right, you're adorable, but get out of there. Hey, sorry, my animals are going nuts. Oh my God. Anyway, so I was saying, hey, sorry. Calm down. Stop. There is nothing happening. Anyways, as I was saying, I use this software and it automatically sends out messages for me, and I can send up to 50 messages a day to new connections. If I wanted to send up follow-up connections to, or follow-up messages to connections I have, I could do that all day, every day, and it would automatically do it for me. But if you do the math, if you're sending out connections every day for a full month, 50 times 30, that's about 1,500. And then take away, if you want to send out on the weekends, that's fine. But I personally don't send out on the weekends. And so take away, I don't know, guess 8 days of that, then you're left somewhere closer to 1,000 people that you're making connections with. Not every single one of those is going to connect back with you, but majority of the time people will make a connection with you. And so with this Linked Helper, what I was talking about is I can actually go in there, put a personalized message, and it will automatically see that person's name. I can go, hi, blank, first name. And so it will automatically say whatever that business owner's name is in the message. And I can say something along the lines of, hi, my name is Angelica. I'm a bookkeeper in the area, and I've been reaching out to business owners like yourself. Or I don't even necessarily say that. I'm trying to think of what is my message. Let me see if I can actually see it. Because I actually have it running right now, and this is what made me think of all of it. It should do it. Yeah, I can actually see it typing up right now, which is really cool. But I am a business owner in the local bookkeeper in the area, and like I said, I've been doing stuff with business advisory. So in my message, I put, I know how to do bookkeeping, but along with that, I understand cash flow management, business advisory, and some other thing I put in there. And I know how businesses like yours work, and I'd love to connect with you if that's something you'd be open to. And so I will actually get a lot of people, accept those connections. They'll suddenly be my friend or my connection. And then once they accept that connection, then I immediately message them and I say, thank you so much for connecting with me. How is your day going? Sometimes they won't respond back to that, but then that's why I save them as a lead in Sales Navigator in LinkedIn. And then I take that information as a lead, and most of the time they'll have their contact information. So whether that's an email address, phone number, whatever, if they have an email, then I will put it in an email and I will email them saying, hi, we connected on LinkedIn. I won't do this immediately. I'll wait probably a few weeks if they haven't really reached out to me. And then I'll go back in and I'll say, hi, my name is Angelica. We connected on LinkedIn. I know sometimes it can be difficult to keep up with your apps though, and sometimes it's easier to see things in the email. So again, I just wanted to remind you what I'm about. I don't know if you needed any assistance or if you know anyone who needs any bookkeeping assistance, but I offer free consultations. And sometimes it can be as simple as that. Sometimes people literally bite off of the connection request. I have a guy scheduled for next week. I sent him a connection request and he immediately was just like, yes, I'd love to meet with you, and set up a meeting with me through my Calendly, which is awesome. And then I have, a few people that I've met with as well. Nowadays, you can use Chat GPT to make it for you. Yeah, so you can use stuff like that. I saw another guy use, it's actually a Chrome extension. What is it called? In Touch. That's something else you can use, but unless you're paying for it, I think it only sends out like 20 connections a day or something. And what I like about Linked Helper is that I can do 50 connections a day, and which I think is LinkedIn's limit. But granted, like I said, not every single one of those connections is going to connect with you. So you're not necessarily going to be connecting with 1,000 people, but you're at least reaching out to 1,000 people, and you may get 10% of that. Well, 10% of that is 100 people that accepted your request. Maybe out of that 10%, you only get, maybe out of that 100, you only get 10% of people that actually are interested. And so that's 10 business owners. And then maybe out of 10% of that 10, then you get an actual business owner that wants to work with you. That may just be one business owner, but if they actually are a 11 to 50 employee company that are making over $1 million, then they're going to be more open to paying you more. I literally just had one of my clients. I didn't meet them on LinkedIn. I actually was referred to them from a referral partner of mine, which you can watch one of Bryce's videos about referral partnerships. And I actually have a video as well of a Zoom meeting I did, meeting with a potential referral partnership, so that you kind of know what to expect when you're doing that, because they can give you really good leads and send good people your way. But anyways, I have a client of mine, and she was paying me like $450 a month. And now she just, she said, I've worked with you for a few months. I appreciate what you're doing. And she's had a few things come up that she can't take care of, a lot of her own tasks. And she's like, since I trust you so much, I was actually wanting to know if you'd be willing to take on these other tasks for me. And she's now willing to pay me $1,200 a month instead of $450. So there's a few other little tasks that I have to do, but actually helped me with my bookkeeping, because now I don't have to ask her to hunt her down, have her hunt down like invoices to give me the information. It'll all be stuff that I can have control of. And I guess call me a control freak, but I'd rather have everything in my possession. That way I don't have to have someone get involved. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it, of kind of how I'm able to reach out to 1,000 to 1,500 business owners every single month. And there are some months that are more successful than others. I will tell you right now, and this is kind of why I made this video right now, is with tax season coming up, there are going to be so many people looking for a new bookkeeper, or they have waited to get their taxes done and they're going to need someone to help with cleanups. There are projects that you may not have them as like a full-time client, but you can start off with like a little cleanup project, and I almost guarantee you they're going to be thrilled with the work you've done and pretty much want to work with you full-time moving forward. If you are someone that is familiar with taxes, right now is a perfect time to start reaching out to people. Let them know I do bookkeeping, but I also do tax preparation, whatever your lingo is. How did I do my pricing at the start? At the start of running my business, or at the start of whenever I started working with Bryce? Because whenever I first started my business versus how I do my pricing now is completely different. But yeah, if you have questions, any other questions for me about reaching out to people. So let's see here. So Bowman asked, how did I do my pricing at the start? And he said both ways. So I initially, whenever I first started doing my business, only did it hourly. I was charging $25 an hour, which is pretty low. And then after a few months, I brought it up to about $40 an hour. But I hated doing hourly, and I actually got in with a different program with a gentleman named Mark Wickersham. He does Value Pricing Academy, and he has a lot of really good information in there, mostly for mostly for bookkeepers that already have clients and they want to, I guess, do more business advisory for their clients. So he was helpful. But at that time, I was more looking for like, how am I going to be able to actually get more clients? And in his bookkeeping coaching, I didn't really feel like that need was being met. But he did his pricing where he started doing flat rates for people. And I really liked that idea. And so I started doing flat rate, and that helped a lot. And then with Bryce, he suggests doing a flat rate based off of your hourly, if that makes any sense. So he actually has a pricing calculator. It's like a little Excel spreadsheet where you put in your data and it will kind of come up with a number for you based off of what you charge hourly and what the amount of time is going to take. I've talked about it in other videos, but yeah, basically with that pricing calculator, like if a company's transactions are between 1 to 50 transactions a month, then that's considered like an hour of your time. And Bryce suggests doing anywhere between like 75 to 120 an hour. So I have mine set like around 90 an hour. And so if someone has 50 transactions a month that I have to go through and categorize, that's worth an hour of my time. That's already $90 right there. And then there's other things just based off of a formula that he created, kind of based off of the amount of time that it's going to take. Once it's all added up, you get your flat rate. And then he also has a formula for cleanup, which has been super helpful as well. So to answer your question, I do a flat rate based off of the amount of time it's going to take me to do most things. And that company I was talking about earlier, that she was doing $450 and now it's gone up to $1,200. Basically, the reason it was $450 was she had, a few accounts that I had to reconcile. There was some cleanup, which that was a separate cost in the $450 a month. I think it was like a $1,500 cleanup from the start. But then regular monthly, just maintaining it, has been $450 a month, and I have been working with them since August. But I was mostly just doing categorizing, reconciling, a few other little tasks, basically entering in and matching bills to their bill payments. And then now I'm going to actually be taking over receivable, actually legitimately paying the bills instead of entering the bills. And so a lot of this stuff is going to be things that are helping me with my tasks. And they send out probably like 100 something invoices a month. And so when I put that in the pricing calculator, everything came up to about $1,200. So I offered that to her and she said yes. And so that's wonderful that, I'm getting $700 something more than I was. And, it's been really wonderful. And I've actually, sorry if the audio is bad. Can you hear me now? Sorry that I look like a swamp monster today, by the way. Did not feel like getting glammed up to just, make a quick video. Still can't hear me? But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I don't know if anyone can hear me still, but if you have other questions for me, you can leave them here. I'll give you a few, probably about a minute to enter in any questions that you have about anything. And then, y'all can move on with your day. Yeah, I don't have very good internet out here, so I'm sorry if it can't keep up right now. Okay, you can hear me. Thank you, Simon. I was going to say, if you are looking for assistance with your bookkeeping journey or tax journey, whatever accounting journey you have, then I will put a link in the description box But you can schedule a meeting to chat with Bryce and see if some of the things that I mentioned could help you, because they have helped me a lot. So I completely 100% back Bryce and his business, and I'm just, trying to spread the word, because I know what it's like starting out and kind of feeling a little lost, but then also kind of feeling that shame, like you should know what you're doing, and not really knowing what to do. And sometimes you just need like that little nudge in the right direction to kind of get on track, and then also have a good community of people around you that understand that as well, and you're all kind of working together. And thank you guys for watching. I hope that this video was helpful, and I will make a more formal video coming up soon. I don't know if y'all enjoy these live videos or what time of day I should actually do them, but I like doing the live videos because it's a little more relaxed. But alrighty, everyone. Thank you for watching.